All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Masters underway at Augusta National. We'll continue giving you updates from Augusta. Your current leader. You want to take a guess? Have you seen it?
Yeah, Jose Maria Olazabal.
He is.
Let's go.
He has been in the red for 6 consecutive holes now.
Let's go.
Which includes 2 eagles, by the way.
Let's go.
So he's off to a pretty good start there. We will
2 eagles or a double eagle?
Is it a double?
I'm
eagle?
just kidding.
No, he's 2. I'm sorry, he's 2 under, not 2 eagles. Sorry.
2 birdies.
When the Masters, the way they do theirs on their website always confuse me because it's not the scores of the individual hole. It's their score that they keep up there.
Yeah.
And it throws me off because I'm used to looking across and seeing the actual score of each hole.
Yeah.
So it throws me off a little bit when I look at that. But each and every week we are joined by our friends at Coke and Piggly Wiggly by the coach, Wim Sanderson. Coach, how are we doing today?
Well, I got a lot to tell you. I'll try to say it fast. The Masters is you couldn't have anybody on that doesn't know any more about the Masters. I know a lot about the Masters. I've attended the Masters a lot, and fortunately, Bobby Knight and I were invited to play at Augusta. Joe Ford, who owned Alltel, invited us to play, and we flew over, and we played Augusta, and you don't know Bobby Knight that well, but you know his temperament. He didn't think he's supposed to ever hit a bad shot. And I was saying before I got on that when I got up there, myself and Bobby and our 2 caddies, nobody was around. It was an off day. I was so cotton picking nervous I couldn't get my breath. I had no reason to be nervous, but I was. I was excited to be there because I'm a golf guy. I love golf, but I was nervous as I could be.
How many clubs did he break during the round?
He didn't break any, but I've seen him take a golf lesson, and I've got film of it, but I got on these old video things where the guy tried to teach him how to hit out of the sand. Not that day, but when in Indiana, he just finally took his club and slung it as far as he could sling it. But I tore.
Did he throw any clubs at Augusta National?
No, I can't remember if he did or not. I made 1 par. I parred 12. There's the only one I made, and we played about where the honorees played today. We didn't play way up front, but we didn't play back in the back, and it was absolutely one of my great thrills. It's always colder in Augusta than you think. As you know, most of you know, weather has a great deal to do with your success. The fast greens and the wind are factors, certainly in any golf course. But fast greens, it would be like rolling a marble over a glass top. That's the best scenario I could give you. If you just rolled a marble over a glass top, you can see how fast it is. It's and I don't want to bore you with all this, but it's a second shot. It's a second shot golf course. By that I mean you're better off on your second shot being below the hole than above the hole. If you're above the hole, you've got speed problems that are faster than you can imagine, and but being below the hole, you'll have a little bit better chance of making things. So, I had a great thrill of getting to play. Bobby and I have been friends for a long time. I coached a long time. I got kicked out of 1 game, and I got kicked out of a game when I played Bobby Knight. So
why do you have to press your buttons, Coach?
So anyway, that's the way it was.
When you look at Bobby, when you think about those experiences at Augusta, I mean, most of us will never play Augusta National. So
I was the same way.
Well, help us understand what it was like when you got on the actual course itself.
Yeah. Oh, it was unbelievable. It was as fast as it could be. The greens are very fast. It's a position golf course. They're not going to kid you. Here are the stats over 100, not 100 years, 50, 60 years. If you make par on the par 4s, you need to feel comfortable with yourself because they're not going to be many under pars on any of the par 4s. there will be a little bit of under the radar, under the par on par fives. If you occasionally can birdie the par fives, 15 is a great par five. You can birdie those, then the people that have been able to birdie the par five, some, not all the time, I get what percentage it is, and be satisfied with the pars that they make on the par fours, generally speaking, have a great chance to win the tournament. And that I thought that was very interesting. I've studied that a lot and tried to see what goes on, what makes you win, what holes you have to do anything. 16 is a par three. You'll see that, and all of the patrons are in the stands to the left of the par three. It's a long par three. When I got up there, we're playing up front. I hit my ball and I hooked it over in. I would hooked it with no Patriots there, but where the Patriots would have been, and then I had to hit it back over the water, and I made 4 or something, but which is low. And so, anyway, it's a real thrill if you like golf, and I can't play. I love to play, and the one factor in golf, or one factor in life, is that when you get older, you get worse, generally speaking. And I'm worse. I've been taking some lessons this week. I can't play dead. So anyway, it is what it is. But to get to play there and have the opportunity to visit there and see how they play, and it was a great thrill for me.
What do you think about Bryson DeChambeau playing with a 5-iron that he made himself from a 3D printer?
Bryson DeChambeau does a lot of things that you can't figure out. He's a crowd favorite. He knocks it he hits it a mile.
Hold on a second. Is he?
Yes, he's very popular now.
Yeah, he's popular.
He used to be not popular.
I know he's polarizing, but I don't necessarily that always equates to popular.
Here's the problem you have. Here's the problem that you may have with him. You may be somewhat correct. He went to the LIV. He went to the Greg Norman thing, and he's made a lot of money over there. And so people feel like he's bailing out on the United States, so they don't like him for that. As far as a different kind of a character in golf, you don't see a lot of so-called characters much. I had the opportunity to go see Arnold Palmer some, and I think I've told this story, but had just gotten a job in 1980, 81. I can't remember what it was, and I was at Arnold Palmer's golf course, fixing to play golf. And a guy walks up to me and he says, I don't know how he addressed me, but he said, "Could I play with you?" And I said, "Sure." And so we played 18 holes, and lo and behold, it was Nick Saban. So I played with him, and he was either the defensive coordinator at Toledo, or maybe he'd gotten 1980, 81 somewhere in there. I just got the job. And but anyway, Nick and I played. I took credit for getting Nick to Alabama because I played golf with him. So anyway, that's the story of that. And I'll say this about the practice stuff, and then I'll get out of you guys' way. Back when I was coaching, you had 3 years of eligibility. You played on a freshman team, and then you played 3 years. And now we're trying to, we're going way up in that and way different. I had Snake Stabler. I was a GA. I had Snake Stabler and Joe Namath in my basketball activity classes. They made me teach that the first year I got there. So I went as a GA. What that is? Nobody. And so we had a freshman team. Lo and behold, y'all, Snake Stabler turns his ankle in my game in my class, and they've got to play a freshman game the next day. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the name of Pete? I can't, by God, turn out Coach Bryant's going to have a hissy fit, and he don't know me very well to start with yet, and all those kind of things. Well, in comes the next year. In comes Snake Stabler. In comes Joe Namath. I said, "Joe, come over here just a minute." I said, "Joe, this class is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I've given it a lot of thought. Instead of you coming to this class, you go to the library." And he said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, just go to the library." I said, I'll give you a A. I'll give you a good grade." And every time I see Joe, and I don't see him much anymore, he laughs at me. I said, "Boy, I tell you, when you tore that library up, you got an A out of it." So it was that was a couple of pretty good stories that maybe some of your listeners would like to hear. But it was quite different back then because you had freshman teams and you had 3 years of eligibility and that kind of thing. So
absolutely,
it was different. So,
well, who do you think wins the Masters this year, Coach?
Yeah, I have no idea. I would say today 4 or 5 under would be a pretty good score for the days. I have no idea. Let me tell you who I don't think will win. I don't think Scotty will win. Scotty Scheffler.
Because he just had a baby?
And I think he's not putting quite as well as he went through a stretch where he wasn't putting good. Rory McElroy said you need to get a different kind of putter. He got that putter and tore it up. He's kind of gotten cold a little bit here lately. JT from here will need to pick his putting up in order to win. It's playing there is like this. It's like rolling a ball over a glass top. That's how fast the greens are. If you roll the ball over a glass top, I'd think that booger bear would go off and go down. It's not a golf course where length is big, except there are times, number 15, that you can get on the par 5s and 2s. Well, then you're putting for birdie, and putting for eagle, have a chance for birdie. So your scores are made, or if you get any kind of scores good, on the par 5s and that. So we'll see. Anyway, one more thing, and I'll get out of your way. The game, the All-Star, the A-Day game is not talked about much anymore because you're going to a practice rather than you are to a game. And fans, in general, they think there's a lot of difference in a practice and maybe to some degree in a game. I do think one thing will happen. I do think in this practice and in this year that Mac and Russell will really make you realize how good Ty was. I think on my show, and I don't know about yours, I don't even know about you two. Y'all a lot smarter about it than I am. That people he was hurt some, and they didn't particularly like the way he played and all that kind of stuff. And then they do like the quarterback and so forth. We talked about that last time. But I think maybe that those two quarterbacks that Alabama's trying to select will make you maybe appreciate Ty a little bit more.
We'll see how it goes, Coach. We appreciate the time today. We know each and every week you're brought to us by our friends at Coke and Piggly Wiggly.
Well, I am, and Coke and Piggly Wiggly are great to me. Coke is a great product. I've been drinking it for years. Piggly Wiggly, you can go in and get great meats, you get great vegetables. It'd be good to you. They know what they do everything they possibly can to be sure that they have everything in the world that the ladies need to have a good meal. And I appreciate you guys having me on, and those are two real stories right there. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you, Coach. Great catching up with you.
Right.
The Coach Wimp Sanderson joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, talking Masters and a little bit more. We're going to get back to spring football. We got Chris Dorian coming up here in a couple minutes. He'll give us the latest on Florida spring game. Their head coach, John Summerall, going to join us at 8:30 tomorrow. He is excited about what they are actually going to be doing for their spring game. We'll talk to him about it and exactly what it's going to be, what it's going to look like tomorrow on the show. So don't forget to tune in then and hear about what Florida will be doing for their spring game. I've told you what Game Day Men's Health can do for you. If you are lacking energy, feeling on edge, lacking sleep, Game Day Men's Health can help. You go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today, sign up for the free consultation. You do that, you're going to get the free PSA test, free testosterone test. They'll give you your baseline health, let you know where you stand, and then they'll present the different programs that they offer. Remember, minimal upfront cost from those programs that they offer there at Game Day Men's Health. Also, you save 10% on any program they offer at Game Day Men's Health when you mention Mac and Cube when you walk in the front door. Holistic approach to health and wellness. They want to get you back to feeling your best like they've done for numerous Jocks listeners. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today and sign up for that free consultation. Back to talk more spring football next right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. 800-239-9569 if you want to get into the show. 800-239-WJOX. Auburn tweeting out, the World's Game is coming to Jordan-Hare Stadium this summer as part of the Road to 26 tour. The Plains welcome Argentina versus Iceland on June the 9th. Join us and be a part of this historic event. If you did not know, that is a pretty massive get for Auburn. Lionel Messi will be playing inside Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Pretty cool.
That's huge. I actually saw yesterday where the A&M folks thought that Argentina will be playing there in College Station. That's a huge get.
Is that during the actual tournament, or is that like in the lead up?
It says the Road to 26, so I'm imagining that that's some sort of a lead up.
A pre-World Cup exhibition.
Pre-World Cup exhibition. Yeah, it starts on June 11th. The opening match is June 11th in Mexico City.
So there you go.
Still, awesome to have that in your stadium.
Yes.
Super cool. You going to go?
I imagine tickets are going to be tough.
Tighten up.
June 9th. I don't know what I have on the schedule for that.
Get it together.
But we will
make it happen, Captain.
Potentially do our best there.
Come on.
Yeah.
Just go.
It's a friendly, like you said.
Who cares? Just go.
But a revenue sharing.
I want a full breakdown of the game too.
Rev share opportunity for Auburn Athletics, which is good.
How is that part of the rev share?
Or
does it add to the $20.5 million?
Generating revenue.
Yeah, well, it adds at the 20. It doesn't add to the $20.5 million.
The university is.
It helps
generating revenue.
It helps make money. It helps make money. Agree to the athletic department, but that is not going to increase the amount that they can distribute to the actual players themselves. It only makes it easier to come up with the additional $20.5 million that you can distribute in your rev share.
Okay.
Another revenue stream.
Got
it. Auburn players, for those that don't know, are not going to get more because they host this. It's just going to be easier for the athletic department to pay.
Didn't think that the players were, but.
Correct. But I just want to make sure that's clear.
And I'm checking the A&M site. I don't see anything further on theirs yet. But they're supposed to get a soccer match as well.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be cool to see it in a football venue.
You're saying football is not normally played in football venues?
It's just going to be cool. It's just a big old stadium. It's kind of these college football stadiums are intentionally built to not have a lot of space on the sideline. Like the NFL stadiums are a little different. There's a little more room. There's a little more width.
I'm surprised A&M can fit it, honestly. They have some space, but not as much. Like you think about Bryant Denny, Jordan-Hare. You think about Sanford Stadium. They're all that same footprint, which is really wide in the middle of the sidelines. So you have that extra room.
Yes.
A&M's going to be close.
You think?
They do have some. They have a decent amount of room, but not as much as those schools do.
No, probably not.
It'll be tight though over there on the sidelines.
Probably.
But yeah, that'll be cool for them to be able to get it. So it's pretty
very
sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome thing to have. And it'd be a great event and great experience for those that get to go. I've never been to a World Cup game, but when we were in Europe, 10, 12 years ago, we went to a game, a professional soccer game over there, and it was one of the great. I don't know anything about soccer. It was a great experience. So if you can go. Highly recommend it.
Well, the rumors are that Argentina will face Honduras on June the 6th at Kyle Field in a warm-up match. So they're going to play the 6th there and then the 9th over in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Be awesome.
Okay.
I think you should go.
If I can get tickets, I will.
Well, tighten up.
I've never seen Messi play in person.
I thought you had season tickets to Miami FC.
I hadn't made it there yet. Hadn't gotten to one of those. I'm sure Chris Doring has. He probably gets down to Miami on a very consistent basis. Joining us now on the Higginbotham hotline.
He has to buy his shirts there.
He doesn't wear shirts.
Who wears shirts?
Yeah.
G-Mac, come on, bro. You know that.
Not Doring. Does not wear shirts. You were giving us.
I love that Cole said warm-up match, dude. It's a friendly, bro. Come on, we got to get the terminology right.
That's right. On the pitch.
I read the articles. That's literally what I just read what it says, and that's what it said. So I'm not.
You talking about your Playboy subscription? You just read the articles?
I am not up on soccer jargon. So when the article is released about what's going to take place, I just read it, and that's it. That's all I got for you.
I got you.
You were given a shout-out from John Summerall yesterday on doing his mortgage for him, so you're getting that kind of publicity. That's good for you.
Yeah, we got a lot of the coaches, man. The coaching turnover is good for the mortgage company, bro.
Wow.
He said he hopes he got a good deal. He didn't even look at it.
Hey, well, his wife handled it all. She's the real star in the family, as he's admitted to multiple times. So, dude, I love this guy, man. I cannot say enough good things about him, the folks he surrounded himself with. I was at practice on Tuesday. The energy out there just seems like a whole new day here in Gainesville, and the Gator fans. Man, what a turn from where they were that Black Friday when the announcement came out about moving on from Lane Kiffin to where they are now, and the optimism about the program and what they think the ceiling could be this year.
It's very different. It does feel like not only is the fan base excited, they should be, but it does feel like there's some real organizational structure, and yet everything I hear from Summerall is like, we are not anywhere near where we need to be. We're not where I don't like our team. Basically like just ripping everybody. But I appreciate it. Like, I think it's a good starting point. So how would you assess his first few months on campus?
I think he's killing it in terms of the PR side of things. I mean, he's done every interview, every podcast, been at every appearance he could possibly make, shaking hands, kissing babies, endearing himself to the fan base. And this is, it's very different than what the previous staff felt like. There were a lot of guys around that you didn't necessarily know who they were on the staff and in the kind of support roles. There's some guys that folks here are familiar with from their days playing in the SEC or coaching in the SEC, a nice mix of former Gator players on the staff. And, I just think everything feels very well thought out and authentic too. The amount of energy that Coach Summerall seems to have. There was a lot of folks that were very frustrated with the lack of any sort of fire on the sidelines from Coach Napier, and that's kind of just who he was, low key. But Florida, dating back to the days with Coach Spurrier and throwing the visor, and how they've kind of become closely tied with the antics of Todd Golden on the sideline, what he does, and it feels like Coach Summerall and Coach Golden have a lot of similarities in their personalities and the way they go about coaching their team. I think that's gotten Florida fans really kind of fired up about what the possibilities will look like and how Saturdays will look in general. Just more competitive, more energy, more excitement. I just think it's everything that Florida wanted. And I give Scott Strickland a lot of credit for seeing this and making the move when they did. It was controversial at the time, but I think everybody now looks back and says, wow, this makes a lot of sense.
We've talked about this offense and where it potentially could go. I mean, you're going to be able to lean on Jaden Ball. The O-line's probably got to come around a little bit. I don't have a ton of confidence in that group yet, but haven't really seen, don't know. But you're going to have Dallas Wilson on the outside. You're going to have the ultimate move player who essentially was created in this offense a couple of years ago in Atlanta with Eric Singleton. You got to get quarterback figured out, but I mean, the foundation of what this offense could be right now, Chris, looks like it's pretty solid.
I thought one of the best things that Coach Summerall and the staff did was roster retention. The key guys, you talked about Ball, Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown, defensively Miles Graham. I mean, there's a lot of really good pieces that are back. And honestly, it's kind of an indictment of the previous staff that you had this many good players and only could win 4 ball games. So, I think there's a lot of excitement about what was retained. And Eric Singleton Jr., to me, I had him on my list on our show the other day when we were talking about receivers. We talked about most intriguing receivers heading into the spring here. I think Eric Singleton was underutilized at Auburn last year. Now reuniting with Buster Faulkner, where he had such a successful year 2 years ago at Georgia Tech. I just think they know how to use him, and watching the way that he's utilized in practice, you can tell he's a get-it-to guy. But I think the other thing that frustrated me was this idea that we needed to split carries with multiple backs. I mean, Jaden Baugh is an old-school 25-carry-a-game guy, and you saw that at the end of the year. The Florida State game was a great example of how I think he gets better as the game goes on and the more carries and touches he gets. So I think this group offensively is going to understand how to use the pieces maybe a little bit better. But I'm with you. I think the concern is the offensive line, and I think you're seeing that illustrated with the format of how they're going to go about handling the orange and blue game on Saturday. I mean, traditionally it's always been let's break it up into 2 teams and play a simulated game. This is going to be offense against defense, and I think a lot of it is to kind of protect the offensive line, knowing they're kind of thin and undermanned right now.
When you look at the quarterback competition, I think a lot of us went into it anticipating Philo being the guy. Transferred down from Georgia Tech, went back and watched him. I think he's solid. I think he's fine, good athlete. I think he throws it a little better than I thought when I went into kind of watching and evaluating him. But to be honest with you, the more I watch Tramel Jones, the more I think this guy's pretty dang sporty. Like, he can throw it. And he reminds me a lot of the quarterbacks that Summerall has had some success with, like good mobility, not going to live and die with mobility, but big arm, can make all the throws. So I happen to think if I had to pick right now, I think Tramel Jones has a real shot of going ahead and actually winning this job outright. What's the likelihood of that?
I agree with you. And I thought last year in watching practice in the preseason, obviously, DJ Lagway was limited, but Tramel Jones was the real star of the scrimmages that I saw and looked like, he's an athletic guy. The ball, I think the ball comes out more aesthetically pleasing than Philo's ball does. Obviously, Philo has an advantage knowing this offense, having been at Georgia Tech with Faulkner and some of these other guys. So you feel like he's got the leg up. There's not a ton of really good game tape out there, but you kind of defer to what these guys have seen in practice as it relates to him. So I like what they've done in the quarterback room. They got the highly recruited kid out of Jesuit. I think that's going to be more of a developmental guy. But then also, I think Tramel Jones can go head-to-head right now with Philo. And honestly, I think it's neck and neck, whereas a lot of people just assumed it was going to be Philo. I mean, Philo looked good the other day when I was there, knew where to go with the ball, came out quick, threw the ball a little better than what I was expecting. But, I think there's something about Tramel Jones. And he was under-recruited because of, the injury his senior year. A lot of people got off of him, but I think he's a great asset in that quarterback room.
Chris Doering joining us of the SEC Network, former Florida Gator on the Higginbotham Hotline. All right, just where is the defense in general? Your level of confidence, what you like, maybe where you're concerned still?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got to continue to upgrade on both lines of the scrimmage, but the defensive line, you lose a couple pieces, including Caleb Banks, who I think is one of the more intriguing guys in the NFL draft this year. But I mentioned, I think Miles Graham is one of the underappreciated linebackers in this conference. I mean, he just is so incredibly solid. What a great leader he is. Jaden Woods is back as well, who I like an awful lot. I think in the secondary, Cormani McLean was highly recruited coming out. He came to Florida after some issues and kind of a mixed bag last season, but I think he's got a lot of skill, and I'm anxious to see how the development goes there. But I think they're going to live and die with what they're able to do in terms of creating penetration and disruptiveness and pass rush with their front four. So I think that has to be a place where they continue to upgrade. I'm interested. I was out, like I said, at practice on Tuesday. Emmanuel Adebayo, this dude looks the part. I don't know if he's actually the part, but transfers over from Jacksonville State. I think he's an intriguing piece on that defensive front to keep an eye on.
Finally, when you look at newcomers, guys that maybe we're not talking about, we hadn't paid enough attention to, don't know enough about, are there anybody that you're hearing about that's sort of sticking out?
Oh man, I hadn't heard a ton of freshman guys yet that I've gotten any intel on yet. But I think it's more. I mean, obviously we'll get a chance to see some of those guys. And the freshmen having to be utilized more now than ever. But I think it's more about the transfer portal pieces that they went out and got, particularly Singleton. Man, Singleton's the guy that I think is going to have a really big year.
Yeah, no, he's big time. We were talking just in general, the entire league. I think the media is going to just fall more and more in love with Texas as we get closer to the season. I actually think people are sort of, if they can, to an extent, sleeping on Georgia right now. Who do you sort of have at the top of the food chain of the league as we sit here today, 149 days away from kickoff?
I think the most intriguing team is LSU, and all the talk of the offseason about the Lane Kiffin acquisition and what they did with the transfer portal, the money that's being spent. Like, I honestly believe this is kind of a pass or fail season for them. Either you make the playoff or it's a failure. And we know making the playoff is winning 10 games. And you look at their schedule, man, I don't see 10 games there. I think they got a lot of really good pieces, but I don't know if they'll be able to put it together in year one with that schedule they face. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think Texas, a lot of pressure on Texas. I think there's a lot of pressure on Ole Miss as well. With Trinidad Chambliss coming back, Pete Golding wins a couple playoff games last year. Can he keep the train on the tracks? But the expectation there is through the roof. And I always worry about, can you kind of catch that lightning in a bottle from year to year? Trinidad was so incredibly good last year, and I believe in him 100%. But I wonder if they're going to, with the expectation as high as it is, if they're going to be able to live up to it. I mean, one of the interesting things is you look at the Vegas win totals, they recognize how hard these team schedules are going to be now with the ninth conference game. I worry about us cannibalizing one another just with the depth of talent from top to bottom.
Chris, we appreciate the time, man. Great stuff. Always enjoy catching up. Let's do it again soon.
Yeah, love you boys, man. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Go. Chris Doring of the SEC Network joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, talking some spring football. Florida spring game coming up this weekend. John Summerall will be with us tomorrow morning at 8:30 to discuss it. A lot that we've gotten to today. There are some SEC head coaches and former SEC players that you need to hear from. We'll bring you that audio right after this on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. A couple SEC coaches we need to hear from before we continue to move on. I'll tell you about Gusty Goulas and the Gusty Goulas Group as it is 9:38, Thursday, April 9th, right here on Jocks. We'll get you that audio in just a moment, but the Gusty Goulas Group wants to get you into a new home. Go to GustyGoulsGroup.com right now. Look at the button at the top right-hand corner of your page. Smash that button. Very little information. They're going to tell you just how much they think they can get for your home right now. Call 205-542-1996 or brokered by eXp Realty. See what the Gusty Goulas Group can do for you. They've served more than 3,000 home buyers and sellers in the greater Birmingham area. You Google them. There's over 850 five-star Google reviews. Go to GustyGoulsGroup.com today, Google Gusty Goulas Group, or call 205-542-1996 today and start packing. All right, Shane Beamer, press conference yesterday, South Carolina head coach, asked about one of the things that maybe points him away from a potential recruit that's heading into Columbia.
Well, to me, it's two things. One, you got to be a good person and somebody that we want to be around each and every day in this program. And if you come here on a visit and you're disrespectful, you're a prick, I think I can say prick, then it's probably not going to last long. I mean, full disclosure, we brought somebody here on a visit about 2 weeks ago, and within an hour of being in the building, I had two different people come to me and were like, he's not going to fit what we're about. So we sent him on his way. So you got to be able to bring in, this profession's hard enough, this game is hard enough to do anything to mess up that locker room downstairs. Like, we've got some really, 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 really good young men on this football team, so I'm not going to bring in somebody that's going to disrupt that.
You got to respect that, G-Mac. And I mean, it's hard to gauge that in a short amount of time. So I think it's probably pretty cool that he has people that'll go to him immediately and say, no, not this one.
I think it's the only way now to adequately put a roster together. I mean, you have to. You cannot bring, and you ask any coach this, you bring in one bad apple, I mean, it could have an impact on your entire roster.
Yeah.
Like, you really, it's one thing about like being respectful in the building and being good teammate, all that other stuff. That's great. But like, if you're showing signs of that, and basically a job interview, which is a visit, if you're showing signs of that, imagine what things are going to be like when you're 3-4 and you're not getting the ball as often as you'd like, and you have a million other things that are going on. Like, it's only going to be further heightened. And then all of a sudden you have fracturing in the locker room, and then one thing goes sideways and it's all she wrote. So like, I think it's very important, very, very important to make sure that you're in good shape when it comes to the people you're bringing in.
Absolutely. Shane Beamer, second answer on just kind of recruiting nowadays for South Carolina.
I get it. There's a financial element at play. I understand that. But if I ask you what's important to you and what are you looking for in a school, and you tell me whoever's going to give me the most money, which I've had players tell me that, probably not the best way to endear yourself to me wanting to bring you in this program. Not that money's not an aspect. It is. I get it. But if it's the reason you're choosing to come to Carolina, don't come, because a year from now or 6 months from now, whenever the portal's open again, you're going to be in my office again for seeing who's going to give you the most money. So trust me, we're going to be competitive, and I get it. There's people always talk about, money's not money. Money doesn't matter, money matters. And I understand that. But if it's the only reason that you're really choosing to come to a school, this probably ain't the place for you. So don't be a prick and have things that you want to come to Carolina for other than just who's going to give you the most money.
It's fair. I mean, I know a lot of guys want to do this, Greg, and I'm sure there are a lot of instances with college head coaches where you kind of have to take these guys sometimes.
Sometimes.
You got to get a player in there.
Well, we ask the question all the time. Like, it's the better the player, the longer the leash. It's the reality of it.
Yep.
If you're a game changer, you might be willing to put up with a little bit more. It's literally it's the headache versus talent, I guess you would say, graph. And it's like just a graph. Like, the higher the talent, the more you're willing to put up with the headache. It's just, that's life.
Yep. It's just the way it goes. Interesting to hear Shane Beamer, just his thoughts on recruiting. Kirby Smart we've been referencing Georgia and how good they will be, how good they might not be. But Kirby Smart just on the last scrimmage that the Bulldogs had over there in Athens.
They've done a good job. We want to be more explosive. We had some explosive plays in the pass game. We had some in the run game. We had some turnovers. We had some penalties, holding penalties and things on DBs. But as a whole, I thought it was a good scrimmage.
So that's Kirby Smart just saying that he thinks it was a good scrimmage there in Athens. Do you take anything away from how he feels about his team there?
No.
Got it.
Did we ever get anything from Kirby as it relates
Not
to?
a ton. Not a ton.
I mean, he's very calculated. And
had
honestly,
some plays, had some drops, there were some penalties.
Pretty
good
subdued.
Scrimmage. Okay, thanks.
Pretty subdued. I mean, he just never really gives you much, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I don't anticipate getting much from him either because he's got it going. He doesn't need to sell. He doesn't need to sell hope. He doesn't need to spin. He doesn't need to do any of that stuff. Why? Because he's already won a lot. What you're going to get from him is exactly what you want to hear, and that's just truth, and pretty much that's about it.
Absolutely. All right, so when we come back, we'll wrap up today's show, give you a bad box score of the day next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. 9:47, Thursday, April 9th, right here on Jocks. We'll get to some bad box scores of the day here in just a moment. First, we've told you about train, weather, this time of year. It's going to be cool in the morning, hot in the afternoon, cool in the evening. Train wants to get you set, and here is how they can do it. Rely on that Train Home Comfort system during their Spring Unstoppable event. You can receive up to a $1,350 rebate on select Train Home Comfort systems. Learn more and find a comfort specialist near you at train.com. Remember, it is hard to stop a train. Let's get to our bad box scores of the day.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Intentional grounding, offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here, excuse me.
That's the game.
We'll start in college baseball. The Georgia
Bulldogs.
Took on the Presbyterian
Quakers.
No. I cannot believe you guys don't know this one.
I feel like we should.
You
Puritans?
should. No.
Cardinals.
No.
Cavaliers?
No. They're the Blue Hose.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They love the hose.
Ludacris did perform in Houston on Sunday night.
It was a different area code.
281.
They played 6.5 innings. Georgia did not bat in the sixth, and Georgia just snuck past the Hose 28-3.
Okay.
Whew.
They got a field goal.
Georgia's used to 28-3.
Georgia scored 28 runs in 36 at-bats. 19 hits, 3 doubles, did not hit a triple, hit 5 home runs, walked 14 times.
Okay. Good patience at the plate.
Or
make them pitch to you.
Yeah.
You just can't throw strikes.
That too.
14 walks a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of walks
What are these hoes doing?
in a game.
That's a whole lot of walks.
It is.
Of those 28 runs, how many do you think were earned?
20.
It's like
5.
24.
28.
All 20.
All of them?
All of them.
Every damn one.
Yep. It's not ideal.
All of
But
them.
you faced 52 batters and you walked 14 of them. Gave up 5 home runs. I mean, it's
It's not great.
Here's the worst part. Presbyterian's fielding percentage for the game, 1,000.
So they didn't boot any balls.
Did not make an error
They're right.
in the field.
Well, that would lead to an unearned run, so that makes sense.
There you go. So yeah, 28-3.
It's a tough putt.
Sorry.
So that's a tough putt. It's just tough. Tough day. Oh, you're thinking about.
Yeah, I thought you
no.
were,
Tough putt means just tough luck. I mean, not great.
I mean, it's par
hard.
for the course for you.
Yeah, hard stuff.
Okay.
So,
It's hard to get up and down when you're down 28-3.
The Gaston College.
The Beasts.
nope.
Ooh,
Close.
that's a good one.
The Beauty and the
That
Beast.
would be Gaston College.
Gaston.
Gaston.
No, they are they're the Gladiators.
I'm going to say the French.
They are the Rhinos, which
That's
I think is
that.
underutilized.
Very underrated.
Very true,
Just why would you not go with that? That and hippos. I feel like we just need more of those in all of college sports as mascots. But hey, either way, they took on the Rockingham Community College.
They're the Rockets.
No, they're the Robins.
Would make sense.
The
but no.
Rhinos.
No,
Robins.
they're actually just the Eagles.
What if they were both the Rhinos?
That would be great. Rhino on Rhino crime.
Ooh.
There was a lot of crime to the extent of 28-3 as the Rhinos stabbed the Eagles
Got him.
in this game.
The one rhinos like Gaston. Okay.
I do want you to go with me here on a journey of runs per inning for the Rhinos.
All right.
RPI.
3, 1, 0, 3, 0, 4. Keep in mind, we scored 28,
Right. Still waiting for it.
17.
Oh, there it
Okay.
is.
All right. It's the one inning that got away from
See,
them.
there's just one, though. You clean up that inning.
28 runs on 18 hits in the game for the Rhinos.
Yeah.
That's when they took it personally. Something happened.
Something happened.
Maurice may have said something. It's like, oh, you know what? Okay, we got you.
They flipped the switch.
Got him.
They flipped it all right. Okay, also in JUCO baseball, the UConn Avery Point,
Huskies.
Johnson's.
No, they're the Bulldogs.
they are the Huskies.
They are the Huskies.
Got him.
Copycats.
They just snuck past the Holyoke Community College.
Ooh.
They're the Blue Hose.
I was going to say, would fall right in line, maybe without the color, as to be great with that mascot there. I don't know where you would go with Holyoke. What would you be like?
Hippos.
There you go.
It's
See?
right there. Yeah.
It's too
There
easy.
for the taking. Instead, they're just the old Cougars.
Ah.
Wow.
Whoa.
So I was right. Okay.
Mm. 25-0, UConn Avery
Whoa.
Point
Okay.
took this game.
Not a shutout.
Not great.
Yes. 3 hits in the game for the Cougars. Elijah Villanueva, 2 for 2 in the game.
Wait, 3 total hits? And he was 2 for 2.
Yep, and 16 total at
Well, he
bats.
can't do it by himself. He can't do it by
This is a
himself.
team
Can't.
sport.
Well, actually, he proved even himself is not going to be enough.
Nope.
He tried to do it by
Tried.
himself, and that's not. It's
Tried.
still not going to work.
Yep.
25-0, your score of that game. Another bad box score of the day. We also had. It was a shutout. We have 3 hits though, so not necessarily no hit. The Brookdale Community College.
They are the Bobcats.
I'm going to say birds, generic.
They are the
Beagles.
Beagles. No, they're the Patriots.
Patriots.
They've
been busy
They
lately.
just snuck past the. I don't know exactly what John's going to say on this one. The Salem Community College.
He's going to say witches.
No, that'd
That's
be
what
too
I thought. I
obvious.
thought he
No,
would go there as
no.
well.
They're the Cats.
They're the Knights.
They are the Mighty Oaks. And it's odd because they have like a green acorn as their mascot.
Well, that seems
so
like
tough.
that's. I mean, where does
You
where
feel
do
like
oaks
that
come
fits?
from?
Oh. The ground.
Land? Dirt. California?
Yeah,
Roots?
they just
Dirt.
naturally pop out of the dirt.
24-5, your final in this game on just 15 hits. Here's the oddity part of this. Salem did not record their box score, so I have no information on how they did or what they did. But I can tell you this. They scored 5 runs in the game. They did not record a hit. Three errors by Brookdale in the game.
Wow.
So you figure that out for yourself. TJ Laguerre started on the
Laguerre.
mound for Brookdale. He went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 of those earned, walked 2, struck out 10. You talk about a roller coaster of a day.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah.
He's just throwing like 92 right over the plate every time.
92.
You're either
Tell him.
smoking it or
you're heading back to the
Outta there.
dugout.
Just serving it up
Yeah.
right down Main Street.
that's it. All right, so those are your bad box scores of the day. A couple good ones in there. Georgia,
I'd say there were
ooh,
some good ones today.
blue hose just stepped on.
Think
Crushed.
Snoop Dogg likes him? Wait, he doesn't love him. Never mind.
What do you call it when you fold a hose and like put a kink in it so the water doesn't run anymore?
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
fold a hose.
You put a kink in it?
Yes.
Man.
Presbyterian. Kinked by Georgia.
I mean, just buried.
Most
Just
of the Blues got them
folded
kinks,
right in
so-
half.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Turn that spigot right off.
I think Cole.
Just stepped on it.
I think Cole should definitely just start writing independent journalism. Just start writing for these programs' athletic department websites. So that's a great headline.
Georgia kinks the hose.
The hose.
Yeah.
There's a clog in the
context.
hose.
Oh, wow.
These hoes out here folding.
Stop.
Unreal.
John Summerall will join the show tomorrow. He'll preview Florida spring game. If you miss Mark Blackburn, almost feel like we should have Mark again tomorrow if we can.
I'll ask him.
I would love to hear the difference in what he thought going into today, going into tomorrow. Wimp Sanderson, if you missed Chris Doring today, get all those at jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. Download it for free. You can also go find us on the YouTube page, watch the show back there to be a part each and every day. We will look at some of the other spring games coming up this weekend. We got UFL coming up this weekend. We got UFL tomorrow night, Orlando at Louisville tomorrow night. And an Alabama DB, former Alabama DB, has some very interesting things to say about where he is now and where he was. We'll discuss that tomorrow, 7 to 10 a.m. right here on Jocks. 3-Man Front is next.